Cancers, it's Nick and Nala. Hope you guys are doing good. So for all my beautiful Cancers, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, men and women, I hope you guys are doing lovely. We're now covering the second-ish week of September, the 13th till the 19th. And we have just a few things going on. So on the 14th, we have Mars entering Libra. So I feel like this is like fighting fairly. And kind of trying to helping us see both sides of a story. And maybe it doesn't feel like we've been fighting a fair fight lately, but hopefully this week we'll kind of shift our mentality and start to kind of maybe cooperate or try to cooperate a little bit more with others around us. And then on the 17th, we have Sun in Virgo trining Pluto in Capricorn, and then Venus squaring Saturn. So I feel like this alignment is kind of helping us with our responsibilities and our duties, because it seems like this is assisting us with our personal growth and transformation in our lives, especially when it comes to like our needs versus our desires, like our needs and our wants, and being realistic about, okay, like I don't really need this. I need to focus on the things that are necessary, not just all my desires and what I want. So a very realistic, diplomatic type of week overall, generally speaking. Okay, all right, so Cancers, we're going to be covering a little bit of health, work, and love. I'll have a link to the extended reading below in the description box if you're interested afterwards. If you want to follow me on Instagram, Nicloves with 2 eyes. And again, if you're ever interested in a personal reading, email, or phone session, you can contact me. My email is below. All right, okay, guys, so let's just get right into it. So Cancers, when it comes to your health, we have the Empress here. Beauty. You are beautiful. You're radiating beauty this week. So maybe some of you are getting work done. Maybe you're cutting your hair, getting your hair done, makeup, new outfits. You're working on your body and your physique. I just feel like you're working on your beauty, whatever that means to you. If you're a guy, I don't know, whatever you beautifying yourself. Also fertility here. So maybe there's pregnancy, maybe someone here is pregnant, but if there is not pregnancy, you or your person could be very fertile. So this could be a great time if you're trying to have a baby, and if you're not, then just be extra careful. I also feel maybe there could be someone babysitting here. Maybe you are babysitting or doggy cat sitting for someone, or someone is babysitting for you, possibly if you have kids. But this is a very beautiful, beautiful energy. So maybe you could be receiving a lot of compliments this week, or you're feeling prettier, you're feeling more handsome than usual. People are noticing you, maybe just complimenting you or just giving you a little double take glance. All right, so it just feels like you're embracing your true essence, and it's showing and people are noticing that about you. And even if people don't notice, as long as you feel beautiful and you feel good about yourself, that's all that matters. Okay, all right, so when it comes to your work, school, career, and finances, we have the 5 of Swords. So yes, there could be a little bit of tension, maybe some miscommunication, or maybe a little bit of an argument in your workplace or school, or someone you're doing business with possibly. But it could all be resolved because it's probably just a simple misunderstanding, to be honest. Double check your emails, your calls, your voicemails, because this may be very easily avoided if maybe there was a timing issue, or someone misread something or didn't hear something properly. This is actually going to be a week where it probably gets resolved fairly simple. Just make sure you're both listening to each other. And maybe this is self-conflict with yourself, right? Just you being patient with yourself and not fighting yourself. But making sure that as much as you're speaking or trying to get a point across, that you're also listening to the other side of the story or the other person. And a lot of times the best way to solve or try to come to a peaceful compromise is by putting yourself in the other person's shoes. And you're like, okay, I can see why they're upset, or I can see why they were like this. All right, how would I feel? What would I do if I was in their shoes? I feel like there's going to be a good compromise or a peaceful resolution here. But yes, there could be a little bit of tension or misunderstanding maybe between you, coworkers, or customers, clients, or I don't know, someone in your work or career, school place. Okay, but nothing that can't get resolved. So try not to let this get under your skin or like take too personally, because I think it's just pure business, okay? All right, so when it comes to your love, relationships, and dating, so on your side, we have Awakening, Nine of Swords, and Queen of Swords. All right, so I feel like you're speaking out, speaking your truth. On this side, for this person, this can be your your recent past, present situation, or near future person or situation. We have Two of Crystals, Seven of Crystals, and the Knight of Swords. All right, so as far as who you could be dealing with, well, it looks like it could very well be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or maybe a younger air sign, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. I feel like this person may be younger than you, if not by age, maybe by experience level or maturity level. It looks like their communication style may be a little childish or just like immature in some ways, or like they don't communicate properly. I feel like they have a problem where they say a lot, or they talk a good game, or they say they'll do things, but their actions kind of don't align with it doesn't match up with their words all the time. And I feel like that's what's starting to, or what has been maybe frustrating you, right? I feel like this person, yeah, they could be very talkative, or they promise, oh yeah, we're gonna do this, or oh yeah, I'll call you at this time, or yeah, we'll do this and that. But then half the time the plan falls through, or they're late, or they don't call, or they don't text, they don't live up to their word. But they say a lot, they make a lot of promises, but their actions don't reflect that. And I think that's where you're starting to like, you said you're gonna do this, but then you didn't do it. You said we're gonna hang out on Friday, and then you canceled again. I feel like they tend to break their promises a lot. It can be like little small things, nothing major, but after a while, these small little things start to pile up and accumulate. It's like, I'm seeing a pattern here, and it starts to get kind of annoying, right? Like, you can excuse a few little things. There's always emergencies, but like once it becomes a repetitive pattern and habit, you're like, okay, like what's the deal here, dude, right? So I feel like they've been going a little like they've been back and forth, like very inconsistent maybe with you. And maybe they're consistent for like a short period of time, and then boom, again, something like they're not consistent for a long period of time. That's what I feel. And maybe, you know, their life is unstable, possibly. Maybe they have a lot of changes going on, or they just moved, or they have two jobs or something. So there could be a valid reason, but I think when someone is important to you, or you're in a relationship, or you're trying to get to know someone, you have to be reliable. You know, like everyone nowadays usually has their phone on them, or will have access to their phone at some point, and you can check in, or you know, give a little notice or heads up. There's kind of really no excuses nowadays. It literally takes 2 seconds to be like, oh, okay, this, or I can't do this, or let's reschedule. And I think this week you're having like a little aha moment, a little just like realization, or something just becomes really loud and clear. Maybe you hear a song, or you watch a video, or you read something, you're like, you know what, wow, like that makes sense. Why did I not see that before? Why did I not realize that? And that tends to happen to a lot of us with a lot of things, right? It's like when you finally discover an easy way to do something, like, why did I not think of that before? Like, oh my gosh, I've been doing it the difficult way this whole time. So you may have one of those moments. Maybe it's after a conversation with someone or whatever, but you kind of awaken to a new idea, a new perception. And I think you realize, you know what, this thing or this situation something's been bothering you for some time. And now you're ready to like do something about it. You're like, I don't want to just sit around and wait and be miserable. Like I need to speak up about it, because I'm not gonna be able to let this go. It's gonna continue to bother me, and I don't want it to escalate and get worse and worse. I need to speak up. I need to say something. And I think for a lot of you, sometimes you struggle because you're like, oh, like I don't want to step on any toes. Like, oh, I don't want to sound like I'm complaining. I don't want to be that difficult person. But after a while, it's like, okay, it's a little too much. I gotta speak up. So something's been bothering you, definitely, and you just can't let it go. You're like, I gotta get this off my chest, or I gotta know like what's going on with them. Where do we stand? How do they really feel about me? Like, it's just something that has been really bothering you and eating away. And so it looks like by the end of the week or sometime this week, I feel like you're gonna finally speak up, and you're doing it in a very like mature manner. Like you're not be like, hey, blah, 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 like yelling or screaming. I hope you're not doing that. I think you're doing it in a very mature manner. Like, hey, can we talk? Like just have a heart to heart, face to face. Like, I just have these things on my mind. I just want to clear things up. Like, I feel like you're doing it in a very mature way. You're not coming confrontational or anything, but you are being very clear and direct and blunt. And maybe I feel like now they're going to see like a different side to you that they didn't realize. Because like when you've always been like a very nice, sweet person, sometimes people take your kindness for weakness, and they feel like they can step over your boundaries, or like you don't have any boundaries. So the moment you do speak up, they're like, oh, what? So I feel like you're finally speaking up. You're going to address certain things that have been on your mind or that have been maybe bothering you. And hey, like I need some answers, or like, why does this keep happening? Why do we keep rescheduling? Like you say you're going to do something and then you don't. You say you care, but your actions kind of make me feel like you don't care. And I think the best way to approach the situation when you are talking about them, I would say don't just attack them, but hey, you're doing this, 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 and this. You could say, well, that the other night when you said you're gonna do this and you didn't do that, it made me feel like blah, 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 like you didn't care. Like kind of try not to make them as the villain, as the bad guy, but you can say, it just made me feel like I'm not important, or it made me feel like this, this, and that. And I feel like you're doing it, your thoughts and your feelings are coming across really clearly, and I think this person's gonna really understand you. But I do feel like they are a little immature in how they process and express their communication with you, and I think that's why you've like, okay, enough is enough, and you're finally speaking up and saying something. Because their actions, they haven't been like making any moves or doing anything, or been maybe improving, or I don't know, like showing more interest maybe, or putting in the work. And it feels like they're gonna be talking a lot and hearing you out, but at the same time, I feel like they're not, it's like they want you to find the solutions, or like you may feel like you're like being the mom or like the dad, and like this person's like the little kid who's like, oh, what do you mean? What are you talking about? Kind of playing it dumb a little bit. That may kind of tick you off a little bit. But we're diving deeper in the extended to get more information, to see where their energy is at, what are they thinking, what are they feeling when it comes to you, what they don't want you to know, maybe you should know, and what their next action move will be towards you, and then also your advice. All right, so we'll dive in deeper in the extended. Link will be below. Hopefully I'll see you there. If not, I'll see you for our next reading, and I wish you guys all the best. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Take care. Bye.